Better day everyone, I am Jovelyn Tijada Tijano. Now I'm going to discuss with you the Universal Design for Learning, which is the Center for Academic and Faculty Development 2020. But before that, let's define first what is faculty development. So, faculty development, it is a process of providing educational development training and coaching to faculty members to help them improve their work performance. Okay, so now Center of Academic and Faculty Development of Durham College cited the 3 UDL principles. Later on, I will discuss with you about the 3 UDL principles. So, these principles are deemed important to education as we are often challenged to design and deliver curriculum for an increasingly diverse student population. We all know that each student learns differently and can benefit from having a variety of learning formats to choose from, flexible assessments and tools to help with organization of new information and skills. And with this, Universal Design for Learning or DUDL provides us with a variety of strategies and resources to help meet diverse learning needs, improve accessibility to learning opportunities, and increase students' success. Now, let's discuss individually the 3 UDL principles. So now let's move on to Principle 1. So Principle 1, provide multiple means of representation. It is where present information and content in different ways, or it is what students do to learn. So in this principle, it refers on presenting information in multiple ways. We all know that learners vary in the approaches that they identify and comprehend information that is presented to them. Let's say, for example, those with sensory abilities like deafness, learning disabilities, language or cultural differences, and so forth may all require spatial approaches of drawing the content. Others may simply grasp information faster, more efficiently through visual or auditory means rather than printed text. So in this way, learning and transfer of learning occurs by using multiple representations because it allows students to make connection within as well as between concepts. Such multiple representation not only ensure that information is accessible to learners with particular sensory or perceptual disabilities, but it also easier to access and comprehend for many others. This principle also help teachers plan and deliver that more students can learn from. Additionally, I've read a quote written by David Rose, which is, "No single medium works for every learner, nor that is for every subject. To promote understanding of information, concepts, relationship, and ideas, it is critical to provide multiple ways for learners to approach them." So in this quote, Principle 1 plays an important role. Why? Because learning is more effective when materials are presented in multiple forms that can be modified specifically to meet a range of learning needs. Okay, now that's all about Principle 1. Now let's move on to Principle 2. Provide multiple means of actions and expressions. So, differentiate the ways that students can express what they know, or it is how students express and demonstrate what they have learned. So, provide multiple means of actions and expressions means providing options for how students show what they have learned because not all students navigate a learning environment and express what they know in the same way. Let's say, for example, some learners may express themselves best through written pieces while others do best with speeches. So, being able to have options gives students the best opportunity to have success in the classroom. We all know that allowing students to choose can be an effective method for students to demonstrate their learning. Additionally, in this principle, teachers can use strategies that allow the learner to practice tasks with different levels of support and to demonstrate their knowledge and skills in a diversity of ways. So, that's all about Principle 2. And now let's move on to Principle 3. So, Principle 3, provide multiple means of engagement. So, it stimulates interest and motivation for learning, or this principle, it is why students should learn, care, and feel it's important. So now, multiple means of engagement are one of the three main principles of UDL. So it focuses on giving learners diverse ways to be involved, the course's content, fellow students, and the instructor. By building in different engagement opportunities, you can help students see the relevance of disciplinary knowledge in their academic, professional, and personal lives. So this includes providing students options for tapping into their personal interests and having them become motivated by their own personal experiences. We all know that learning is an active process that needs to be motivated and guided towards desirable ends. If students are interested in the topic and have options for how to acquire it, they will be more motivated to learn. So, ways to include this in the classroom are including videos, podcasts, serving learning opportunities, lectures, and etc. Additionally, in this principle, to address varied learning capabilities and needs, multiple and flexible options for engagement and learning process are used to support effective learning. In this principle, teachers can design and plan instructions that involves creating interesting and varied learning opportunities that motivate and stimulate learners according to their personal background and interests. To sum up the three principles, so the table is shown here about the three UDL principles. Now we have universal design for learning principles. So I have discussed earlier the three UDL principles are: first, provide multiple means of representation. Second, provide multiple means of actions and expressions. And the principle 3, which is provide multiple means of engagement. So in this principle, it has a strategy. So in principle 1, we have present information and content in different ways. So in principle 2, differentiate the ways that student can express what they know. So in principle 3, the strategy is stimulate interest and motivation for learnings. So now our brain have three networks. So the three networks that are connected and work together are essential to learning. So in these three UDL principles, there are different networks. So in principle 1, it is the recognition networks, which is the what of learning. So in principle 2, it is the strategic networks, which is the how of learning. So lastly, the principle 3, it is the affective networks, where it is the why of learning. So, the cited concepts and principles of universal design for learning are very helpful to rationalize why it is important for every teacher to not just pick any instructional tool for the sake of having one, and for the teacher to integrate technologies without understanding some learning principles. Teachers must be vigilant, innovative, and creative in choosing and developing instructional materials to ensure that the above cited UDL principles will be put to practice. This is very important endeavor to put mathematics and science learning become a lifelong learning experience for students. That's all. I hope you learned a lot from my discussion. Thank you.